Hello, hello, everybody. Woo! Y'all, this last past 24 hours has been crazy. I'm sure some of you guys caught what I put in the on the banner. So I will see who the first 7 people are. If you guys did not catch that banner, I will be tossing it back up. I just want to change this font. Yeah, I don't. It's too big. But today, we'll be going over the information that came out today. My original plan was to make a video from beginning to start, but tomorrow we'll start from the very beginning and start to look at the signs everyone should have been paying attention to. And I mean, I think we pretty much knew. So, first 7 people in the chat to type in RIP or Orrin and Orson gets a ticket into the free raffle that I do for the gift card. So first 7 people that I see type RIP Orrin and Orson. I will write that down. The first person will get 2 tickets. So we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna see who's all in the building, and we'll go from there. Hey, Christina, how are you? Shay, we got behind the bar in the building. Miss Jeanette, how are you? Miss Miranda, hey, Randeezy. Too Pretty Miss Kitty, how are you? I will go read your comments. So let's go back and see who had questions before we get started. Because I seen a question. Where is that? I believe it was right here. Oh, it was your question. We just needed proof. Yes, for sure. Hey, Preach, how are you? Yes, we love you, baby boys, for sure, for sure. I mean, when I first started to read the papers, which we'll get into, I was so disgusted. Like, I'm like, for real? Like, that's how y'all was getting down? Classic and sincere. Yeah, let's clear that up. It's just, I don't like to write that all the time because some people are like, huh? Because of the names that they decided. Their arrogance is what kills me. Yes, we named them. We this. Those children were deceased 3 months before they reported them missing. So to do all that extra and all that getting upset that Jacqueline did to the family, and we were going to tell you, but, you know, no. So let's see. We got the first RIP Orrin Orson, classic and sincere. Yes, I don't mind if you write that like that. Shay. We have, hey, Octavius, how are you, love? How are you doing? We got Jeanette. Let's see. We got Miranda. I'll keep looking. So, let's see. I just skipped another one. Man, first we're going to take a look at this, and then I want to read over the court paperwork. And a lot of it is repetitive, but I'm still going to read it because I don't want to leave anything out, and I want you guys to see exactly what was said in these documents. So even if I have to read it off my phone because I don't know how clear it's going to show up on here, but I'll be putting that up. So first, let's take a look at. Let me click on it first because I don't like when it gives me like that big list. I want us to first start off with not their interview, I want to wait. Do you guys want me to start off with the parents' interview? Because that's something I was going to go over yesterday. I want to look at what Chief John said from the beginning, from the time they went and looked into this house and how he was feeling. And tomorrow we will start from, the video. From the video of what happened that day, of them mimicking what is supposed to be the boys going missing, to their interview. Then we'll go back to John Walker. We're going to go to the parents of Trezell. Jacqueline's parents never spoke. So, and then from there, we're going to go into the recap. From there, we're going to go into Orrin's mother, Orrin and Orson's mother, Orrin and Orson's father. And then we're going to take a look at Detective John Walker's last interview before it got switched over to Bakersfield. And then we'll look into what the Bakersfield people were saying, but they weren't even really giving us too much information. So today we're just going off over the new information that just came out. So first, Chief John Walker, and just listen to the words that he was saying, because I went over this interview, I guess it was an interview from the news, and I was trying to catch on to, I think he wanted to tell us more, but he could not, and he knew he couldn't. So let's take a look at that first. Let me toss up the banner before we play it. Just listen up, y'all.
No H. What do we got today, Chief? I can only give you a recap of what we've been doing since the 21st of December. Just to give you a recap, as you all know, the 21st of December, we got a call to this location about 5:45 p.m. We were notified that there was 2 missing children, Orrin and Orson, both 4 and 3 years old. There was an extensive search of the neighborhood, which produced nothing. We've done several interviews since then. We've had several agencies involved. We've been working nonstop on this thing since the 21st of December till today. As we're still working, we've been working around the clock. We have several agencies involved, like I said, and we're doing our best to locate the kids. So that's all we've got at this time. There are things in the works, but I don't want to taint or compromise the investigation at this time.
How many agencies are working with you on this case?
I would say at this time 4.
Notice Bakersfield Police Department cars up here as well, and I understand they're taking some video from some neighbors' homes. How much are they involved in this investigation?
At this point, just peripheral, they're helping us out.
And the FBI?
The same.
Okay. It's been more than a week now since the boys disappeared. It's cold up here. This is desert.
Georgia, look.
Here we go with their commercials.
You're not. You feel these boys are still alive?
I can't comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. I do suspect foul play. We haven't been able.
That's what I want to stop it at. He says that straight off the bat. I believe this was this 2 days after? Because 21st, no, this came out on December 22nd. They went missing on December 21st. So this is after they got a chance to look around. And this is what he said. I believe there's foul play. Okay, so let's continue.
We'll put together, how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone.
Chief,
but we're doing our best.
On the General's website, they have the 2 boys missing.
Yes, sir.
On Orrin West, they've got it listed him as a
fractured leg.
A fractured lower left leg as a identifying mark, and that's on Orrin West, listed as a fractured lower left leg. Were you aware about that?
No.
Do you believe, any reason to believe that these 2 boys may have been physically abused by their adopted parents?
I can't rule that out, but I can't comment on that either.
Once again, I cannot rule that out, but I cannot comment on that either. Other things, he's saying no. If it's no, yes, if it's yes. So if you read between the lines, I can't roll that out. I can't comment on that either. So I think from the very beginning, it was already adding up.
But there was no knowledge before that Orrin West had a fractured lower left leg?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Well, knowing that, what does that tell you, if anything?
I can't comment on that either. I mean, fractured leg can happen, especially with small children, any way possible. I mean, they fall down a lot. So
why do you suspect foul play in this case?
We have no way of knowing how they got out of the yard. Nothing that shows how they got out of the yard, and if they want.
Nothing that shows how they got out of the yard, even though they came up with this fantastic story of him throwing twigs, firewood, into the backyard. He goes in and takes these twigs, so many twigs, into the house, comes back. I go in the house and they're not there. I go in the house, they're there. I come out of the house and they're not there. Where did these two little boys, 4 and 3 years old, could get that far away? If he went in and say, hey, did you see the kids? Got in the truck, got in the van and looked around. There's nothing around there. They had helicopters with infrared. There's no way that these kids just went missing. There's no footprints. There's no nothing. So when you go back and listen to this, it says so much.
Wandered out of the yard. We don't know.
What message do you have for the community about, how committed they've been to trying to find these boys and how to maintain, how to stay resolute during this time when we still don't know much of anything?
We absolutely appreciate everything from the community. I don't know if you know that first night, there was literally hundreds of people out here looking for them, and we truly appreciate that. I think this whole community is invested in this thing. My department is invested in this thing to the point where, we don't want to give up. We want to locate them any way we possibly can. We're accepting any information that you could possibly give us, any tips. We're following up on everything.
Sir,
yes, sir.
We've had people ask, should they still look for the boys? It's cold. People have been looking in the night. Should the community still look?
I would never tell anybody to stop, but if they have anything that they could give us, we'll definitely take it.
Where are the parents at this time?
I don't know. I know that I don't know exactly where they are. No.
Did police advise them to get out of the house, or because
no.
there was a search?
Did you guys hear that? Let's go back real quick. He don't know where they are.
But if they have anything that they could give us, we'll definitely take it.
Where are the parents at this time?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that I don't know exactly where they are. No.
Did police advise them to get out of the house, or because
no.
there was a search warrant?
No.
Are they in the house? You don't know?
Okay, so we know that they're not there, okay? Why would you leave? If your children went missing from your home, your best bet is to stay there, just in case. Yeah, they're 4 and 3. They did wander off and somebody, grabbed them, and then, in the morning probably go looking there like, hey, it's anything. Why would both parents leave this house? It's just not, it doesn't make sense.
No.
So if
police
you
didn't
guys
tell them to
needed
leave.
Contact the parents, do you guys have the availability to do that? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are the parents named suspects in this case?
Not at this time.
Chief, as you know,
there are no named suspects at this time.
Well, it's possible that the boys could have been picked up by a complete stranger.
Absolutely.
Isn't it true that in these types of cases, the majority of times, some family member or somebody known to the family is involved in abducting children?
In my experience, it's been very common, yes.
That it's usually a family member.
It could be, yes.
Do you have any of the other 4 kids in custody right now? Are they in police custody?
Oh, the other 4 kids are in protective custody right now, yes.
And have you questioned?
The other 4 kids are in protective custody, yes. And so when we go over this paperwork, I want you guys to see and understand why he says protective custody and not in, DCSF or anything like that. You tell me what the words in the documents mean with that statement he just said.
Them at all?
I can't comment on that right now.
Do you know how old they are? Could you tell us?
I don't want to comment on that either.
Average age?
Just going back to the day these kids.
Because, come on now. These two people are young. Why would between 30 and 35-year-old couple need 6 children, all boys? They had 6 previously when they were living in the Casa Loma. They sent those kids back. They were older. I feel like they were getting to be too much and could have probably told what was going on in the house, because a lot of the neighbors spoke volumes. So then DCFS allows them to get 2 more after getting rid of 2. They don't need 6 children. Let's continue.
Were reported missing. Just to confirm, that was Monday night, correct?
Monday night, 21st of December.
And who reported that missing?
Parents.
Okay. You guys mentioned that there was a lot of folks.
What happened?
I'm always shopping the real.
These commercials are gonna kill me. Layla's over here snoring.
Backyard. We noticed a lot of tools were used in the backyard. Can you talk about some of the work, what you guys were trying to reveal back there?
We're just trying to pick up any clues that we can possibly find to find out where they had gone, and also to confirm that they're not in the backyard.
How extensive was the digging in the backyard?
Fairly extensive.
Anything useful turned up?
No.
What message do you have for anyone? I feel like someone out there knows something more that might help you guys move forward in this. What message do you have for someone who knows?
I definitely believe people know. Someone knows. And I would hope
He
that person
definitely
would come forward. I mean, we got 2 young, in my opinion, babies that we don't know where they're at and we can't find them. So if that person or any of those people have any idea where these kids are or can give us any information that we could follow up, it would be truly appreciated.
It's been over a week. At what point does this become a cold case? Is there still a lot that needs to be?
Oh yeah, it's not even close to becoming a cold case. It's an active investigation. It's going on right now as we speak. I guarantee you.
What are the steps moving forward for you guys and the other agencies involved?
Just to continue to evaluate all the evidence involved and interview anybody that we think is a person of interest and gather as much intel as we possibly can until we come to a conclusion.
This case is in California City, Bakersfield.
It's absolutely possible, yes.
What about the biological parents in Bakersfield? Have they been cooperative in this investigation?
For the most part, yes. Yes.
California City has the 3rd largest land area in the entire state. There's a lot of
Listen
ground
up.
to cover, sprawling desert. Have you guys started combing through the desert yet?
No, we have no reason unless we have any other tips that they could possibly be out in the desert. It's been my experience, especially with small children, you always start from the inside out. You start from where were they seen last. And if we feel that we have enough information and enough evidence to expand out, we absolutely will.
And he says we start out for where we seen them last. And that's why everybody was so confused when they're like, oh, well, we're going to go back to Bakersfield. We're going to go back to, the next nexus, the wording that they use. A lot of people are like, what? During their investigation, they seen, like we all knew, those kids never made it to California City. When Trezell went by himself with Jacqueline to look at this house in the background, he said he was trying to get off of the grid. We talked about that yesterday. Who uses that word? You can say, hey, I'm trying to get out of the city. I'm trying to get into a quieter area. But they have 6 kids. The neighbors say, we never seen, any kids over there. This was all a part of their plan. And like I said, when we go into the paperwork, you're going to see the wording that the courts use for describing how they went about this process. Very conniving.
We have no reason to believe that.
The adoptive father told us that, he wished he could go to every house, knock on the door, see if their kids are inside. From a law enforcement perspective, when you say you want to start from where the kids were last seen, how many neighbors have you guys contacted here? And is it difficult to be able to search inside anywhere like that?
We've contacted just about everybody in this neighborhood. And, we've talked to everybody in the neighborhood. Just our goal is to basically locate the kids. So if I come to your door and I knock, hey, have you seen these kids? You know, and then we move to the next, and we move to the next, and we move to the next. Unless we have any other information that leads us to the point where we can actually enter their home and look for a child, we can't do that.
So it'll be accurate to say, and I apologize if I'm reiterating this, from every neighbor you guys spoke to, not a single sight of them.
No. No.
When was the most recent that a neighbor cited they've seen the kids?
We none of the neighbors have seen the kids.
Ever?
No.
Ever.
At what point do you guys decide to bring out dogs to try to help out in this investigation?
Done that. It's been done multiple times.
And the canines consistently found that the scent of the children did not leave the house?
Correct.
Just to break that down a little bit, piggybacking off of Perla's thing, when you guys use dogs to search for missing people, if their scent was just even a bit outside of the home, would they actually follow that scent?
Generally, yes, but it all depends on the dog as well. You know, it could be the wind blowing, it could be the dog can't pick up the scent, it could be a lot of things going on, but that's the general idea. That's the hope.
Could you explain how police were able to get a warrant inside the house and retain custody over the rest of the 4 kids? Even 2 of them are biological.
Oh, that's the fact that the kids are missing. That's the easy part. You know, obtaining the warrant was easy. I mean, we do every warrant search.
You're allowed enough evidence is the kids were missing, and you were able.
That is correct.
When you have
correct.
Chief, could you clarify though why the kids were put in protective custody from the parents here?
Anytime anything happens in a household where that involves any kids, all the kids are taken out of the household.
Now we've noticed BPD here in California City. We've noticed FBI, and we've noticed that.
That wasn't the question. They said, why were they in protective custody, not in CPS care? They said protective custody. He said anytime anything happens into the home, the kids are taken out of the home. Okay, we get that, but they didn't go to DCFS. They didn't go to CPS. They went to protective custody. For those of you guys don't know what protective custody is, it could be if you're sent to jail and you have, a crime that's not really looked well upon, from other inmates. They'll sometimes put you in protective custody for doing like SA, killing a child, killing a woman, things like that. You're in a protective area for those type of people. When you are in protective custody on the outside of that, they normally take you to a remote location where nobody knows where you are. Kind of like, same thing as witness protection would be. So he didn't answer the question completely.
Several cars have been parked, law enforcement, undercover vehicles have been parked near here around several streets. Why is that? Can you explain anything?
Oh, we definitely we want to keep an eye on the area. And again, if we ever get any evidence the kids could be anywhere in this neighborhood, and also just to keep an eye on the house and see who comes and goes.
Has there been a human trafficking issue in Cal City or recent cases?
Not that I'm aware of.
And sorry, I just want to... Go ahead, Perla.
Did the luminol find anything?
Not that I know of.
I just want to piggyback up with a recent question here. When you say whenever there's a situation involving kids, the other children go into protective custody?
Normally, yes.
Well, from my understanding, we have a lot of missing, persons cases in Bakersfield, and when a parent reports their child missing, the other kids aren't taken away from them. So what circumstances have to be in play in order for the other children of the household to be in protective custody rather than the custody of their parents?
Well,
hello. He was telling us this whole time what was going on. Why would you take all of my kids away from me and I mean, I understand because it was 2 at the same time. So it's like, what the heck were you guys doing? But these kids weren't even at home at that time. So why would they have anything to do with what happened when they were at their grandparents' house, the other 4? why would all of them have to go into protective custody? Nothing happened to them, right? They had to have known more.
Generally, to take if there's any kind of a juvenile situation where there's been any kind of neglect or any kind of harm to any of the children, we automatically have to take all the other kids out of the house until there's an investigation done by Child Protective Services.
Once again, he said if any harm. We don't know if harm was done. How did they know harm was done? Somebody came and got them from the backyard, or, they just went missing. They weren't abused or anything like that. So why would that be the outcome of this situation? Y'all tell me. Let's continue.
There have been other types of
No, I'm not saying there was abuse at all. I think the kids are missing, and we can't put that together. So until we determine one way or the other what happened to the children, the other 4 children are taken out of the home. Now the parents can try to go to Children's Services and get the children back, but that's totally up to Children's Services.
Chief, if somebody wants to come forward with information that they're afraid to come forward publicly, then how can they do so anonymously and contact you?
They can call our station, leave a number, leave information, whatever they want to do, and we'll get back to
Can't
them.
you guys press the phone number? I mean, if somebody really says,
Yes, Michael, I do like this guy that's asking the questions, because he's like, look, you ain't gonna keep playing with me. I'm asking you this question, answer this question. Okay, well, let me change it up. I'm gonna ask you this question. I really liked it this one.
I don't want to get involved, but here's the information you should know. Is there any way they can contact you with being totally anonymous?
Call the station. That's all I can say. That's all I hope.
Where else are you, our police and agencies?
Georgie, look.
This commercial's coming.
Or do they go?
I know, guys. I know. You guys are going to say, you need to get the commercial-free version. I'm getting there. And for all of you guys that are like, oh, you're just doing this because monetization. Listen, I'm not monetized. I've been looking at this case before I was even on YouTube. So let's not go there. All right.
I can't comment on that right now.
Can you say if you're searching in Bakersfield?
I can't comment on that right now.
That's his word. He let out those words.
There are a lot of signs out on the main roadway that are asking words.
Of course.
What are your words? People are asking that same question. Asking the same question.
Well, my answer to that is that's my question as well. I want to find these kids as much as anybody else. And so whatever information, and we're actively at it. I mean, around the clock. We haven't given up on this thing. We want to keep on it as diligently as we can,
Right.
because we know the clock's ticking and we really need to find them. So my answer to those people would be, I want to find them as bad as you do. And if you have any information, please come forward and give it to us and we'll follow up.
Chief, you're not a very large police department. You're a small police department.
We're very small.
How is this case, what impact does it have on your resources?
Huge. I got people that are on their days off coming in. I got people that are supposed to be working days that, I was putting 19, 20 hours in last week myself. So my guys, they're working tirelessly on this thing and not complaining because they want to find these kids as bad as everyone else.
Do you have any reason to believe that the kids are still at the house?
No.
Even though the canines and all this that?
No. I'm not getting in the house.
No. Do you have any reason to believe that those children are in the house? No. The dogs were only able to smell those children within those 4 walls of that house. When it came to stepping out, coming out the door, no. Back door, no. The only reason why those dogs were able to smell, in my opinion, those children in that house is because they probably had a toothbrush in there they took. They had some of the children's clothes. They had things that had the children's scent on it still. Like I said from the beginning, these kids were already deceased. At this point, 3 months before they reported them missing. So whatever smell the dog had is them literally taking box of the clothes in the house or whatever. That smell is what they had. That's why there was no way to detect these children outside of the 4 walls of that house. Period.
And Mr. Walker, just talking about the different agencies helping out, part of it is because to help with manpower, correct?
Correct.
If you can talk about general assignments, the FBI, what aspect of it are they looking at? What aspect is KCSO looking at? Did you guys have
You guys already know. Let's go.
nations on who does what?
Well, basically, the bigger agencies, they have all the other resources like the crime labs and that sort of thing. So they're really helping us out with that, analyzing any evidence we have and any things that we can come up with. So that's a real big help for us.
Para Telemundo. Gusta decir algo en español, lo que sea, nada más para la gente que esté escuchando, porque hay gente hispana que habita aquí en Telemundo.
Right.
¿Qué mensaje le tiene usted a la persona, a la comunidad hispana, para ayudar a encontrar a esos 2 niños?
My Spanish is really bad.
But
Mucho ayudar, por favor. Dígame, por favor. Llámame, por favor.
Para encontrar a los niños.
Sí, por favor.
¿Piensa usted que los niños están vivos? ¿Piensa usted, do you believe the kids are still alive?
I want to believe that, yes.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people have been wondering about what constitutes an Amber Alert and why one
Generally,
wasn't sent out.
An Amber Alert, the way I understand it, to the best of my knowledge and my experience, would be if we have a known person who has taken the child and we have a vehicle information about that vehicle. So we put that out for all the drivers and all the commuters to be on the lookout for that vehicle and that license plate number. So in fact, we can recover the child. We don't have any of that information
at this time.
And this is why I say we need to start fighting for something else. And I feel like it should be in honor of Orrin and Orson. So, like Classic and Sincere's Law or Classic and Sincere Alert or something of the sort of, you know, I don't want to say West Boys or anything. I do not want to give those monsters any part of this. But some type of alert that any child can be looked for, searched for. They have an alert go out with whatever information they have. I don't care if they say he had a pink sock on and he had on, I don't know, a diaper. And that's all we know. Who cares? Let them bring the pictures they got of this child, and we're going to look for a pink sock and a diaper. And we're going to call it a day and call it the Classic and Sincere Alert. Whatever. I think that they should be able to have their original names that their birth mother gave them. Because point blank period, they were taken from this woman for something, to my understanding, and from what she says, and he also confirmed, a broken femur. She was at work or whatever she was doing. She went and picked her kid up from the daycare. She noticed he was crying. And this is what makes us mothers and caretakers afraid to go to the hospital, to seek help, anything, because they're going to do you like this. And you know what? She's a good one, because it can't be me. Seeing all these things that are happening to these children once they go into these foster care homes, I'm going to say this right now. For mine, y'all going to take my child over my dead body, point blank period, because nobody is going to love my child like I do. And for Trezell's words to say they were rambunctious, everybody flew off the wall with that. My son is as rambunctious as they get. He can chill out, but when he wants to play, he tears down. And I don't have a problem with that. But somebody that is not directly related, and I don't even want to say that, because it could still be a family member or what have you that can't handle your child's actions or temperament. Only a mother's love, a father's love, or someone closer can understand and deal with that child's personalities that other people cannot. I will not, under no means necessary, allow my child to go into the system and seeing all these flaws. I don't care. Like, it's just not happening. I'm a flight risk. I'll be out of here. Where it's not going down. For this to happen, because look, hey, she's good. I would be, you mothers understand me. Everybody in DCFS that has something to do with this would be getting sued and everything else, because why take my child out of my care for me going to seek help because I felt like my child was not acting right when I brought them from the daycare. And I'm sure they looked into it and seen the child was at daycare. She was at work. She went and got the child, and this is what was going on. So why wasn't that daycare investigated rather than her children being taken from her? And the second smaller one was taken at birth. I believe, from what everybody else and things that I found on here, she does have, other kids that were not taken from her. So why not? And if that's wrong, whatever. But I'm just saying, why take the little baby if you guys had a problem with this one child? And I don't feel like they looked into it completely. They say, oh, it's because, she had some marijuana charges, this, that, and what have you. California, marijuana is legal. They are not going to give you any classes or anything like that you need to complete when it's legal if you're over 21. It is literally like going to a 7-Eleven or going to the gas station. You can go get marijuana just like that with your ID, 21 years old, purchase what you want, and go home. And so I don't understand why that was a reason. There had to be other things, or either, DCFS fell through on some parts, and we surely understand that did happen. But it just happened too fast of them getting adopted just right back to back to back. This doesn't make sense, and it needs to be looked into. So here we go.
I also want to confirm one thing just to make sure we're putting out the most accurate info. You said that since this couple's been here, that there was never a sighting of the children?
Not that we know of. They've only been
Not
here
one
since
sighting.
Okay. Was there a sighting of the parents' other children?
Not that I know of. No.
Can we ask a question to the community?
Listen, John Walker answers questions to let you know what's going on, but to keep himself safe. Did they see those children? No. Did they see any of the other kids? No, not that I know of. They didn't see them, not that I know of. And all the other neighbors, we seen AV go out there. We seen Doug go out there. We seen all these people talk to the neighbors, and they said they didn't see no kids over there at all, not even the other 4. The only time we seen what we can think kids are coming out of that house, and it was only 4 little bodies. People were like, oh, maybe since they were smaller, the 2 older ones were holding them, and that's why you only seen 4 get into the car. I believe that was probably their only trip there, and to make that be seen on camera. I just really believe that.
What do you want us to do? Because I heard you say you guys aren't going to go to the desert. Do you want us to do?
If whatever you feel like you want to do in that aspect is more than it's welcome. Whatever, I'm not going to close any doors. Whatever's open, I'm willing to take. And if you can come up with any clues, any information that we can follow up on, we most happily will.
Yep, kitten.
We just wanted to
real
say
names,
earlier,
birthdays.
you guys weren't going out there, but there's so many of us still willing to.
Yeah, and that's
We
fine.
know it's vast. We know
Right.
you guys only have a certain number of people.
Right.
Echo
And-
still? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I
Appreciate it. But our resources,
you.
we have to concentrate on where we saw them last. And if something leads us to expand our search, we absolutely will.
Thank you.
And I'm
Ask the question.
I'm sorry.
Somebody yesterday informed me they spotted a vehicle that looked identical to the parents' van coming back from the direction of Silver Saddle on Sunday, the day before the boys were reported missing.
I can tell you that's not possible.
Do you see that?
Let me dispel that right now. That's
I can tell you that's not possible. He's dispelling all of that because he's like, all this is shenanigans. It's BS. I pretty much already know what's going on. These kids, this and this and that. Nah, that's not true. That's not true. He's debunking all of this extra that people try to insert into these situations. Nah, that wasn't true. So he's telling us without really telling us.
Are there any other rumors?
Can you say that again, Chief? What's not possible again?
That the van was seen somewhere on their civil shadow yesterday.
No, it was seen the Sunday before they were reported.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can follow up on that. Sure.
Yeah, we reported
Thanks.
it and, never heard back.
Okay.
So
Well,
do you think he shouldn't comb the desert, like go out like in spurs?
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best, you gotta try Cachava. Cachava.
Where everybody goes in the same direction and looks for those kids?
Sure, that's a possibility.
I think that's a big possibility.
But right now we're not going to spend the resources on that right now. We're concentrating on right here.
Chief, there's obviously a lot of information out there. Are there any main rumors that you want people to just stop spreading? Is there anything else you could dispel?
Main rumors are rumors, and people are going to say what they're going to say. But just so they know that we haven't given up on this thing, and we are working still diligently to try to find these kids.
And I'm being asked to ask this question as well. In the last decade, there have been several unsolved either missing persons cases or homicide cases. As a police chief, what trend have you noticed here that contributes to that? What do people have to think about when they say, well,
I need you to be more specific. What are you referring to?
Well, we did a story with the police chief at the time, Mr. Hurtado, back in 2019, and we talked about the $25,000 rewards that you guys now have for multiple unsolved cases.
Yes. But right now I have
a full-time crime analyst that's working on any cold cases that we have. But any city that you have is going to have cold cases. It's just the larger the city, more cases you're going to have. Right now we're holding 8 cases. And again, I have a crime analyst who works full-time on that. And
what has he shared with you? Because you said the bigger the city, the more cases there's going to be. In the last decade, this is a population of about 14,000. I think 2,500 of them are counting the prison population. So what do you think contributes to this sort of crime here, the missing persons, the homicides? What are factors that come into play there?
Again, I think we only have one missing person at this time, and the other are unsolved homicides. But we're a small city, you're right. And we've only had 8 at this time. So if I was in the city of, say, Los Angeles of 4.5 million people, they're probably carrying a couple hundred cold cases right now. So, like this year alone, we've had no homicides at all. So it's just a matter of population and crime.
One more question for me. Did the parents deny to take a lie detector test?
I can't comment on that.
And would you be able to provide us the 911 call that they made initially?
You heard what he said, right? He can't comment on that? Let's take that back. Just a little bit. It's about to be over, y'all. We're going to get to this, these documents.
So what do you think contributes to this sort of crime here, the missing persons, the homicides? What are factors that come into play there?
Again, I think we only have one missing person at this time, and the other are unsolved homicides. But we're a small city, you're right. And we've only had 8 at this time. So if I was in the city of, say, Los Angeles of 4.5 million people, they're probably carrying a couple hundred cold cases right now. So, like this year alone, we've had no homicides at all. So it's just a matter of population and crime.
One more question for me. Did the parents deny to take a lie detector test?
I can't comment on that.
I can't comment on that.
And would you be able to provide us the 911 call that they made initially?
Can I provide it?
Yeah, the recording of it. I'm sure police have all the recordings.
I have to look into that right now with our investigators and see if they want to release that at this point.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry. Last question for me.
What about the van that's in the parents'
It's under the authorities or the foster.
We have it in custody.
Sorry, Chief. Last question for me.
He's
Can
done.
you confirm since the beginning of this incident from last week that there has been nobody detained or arrested during this entire investigation?
There's no one been arrested.
Has anyone been detained?
Well, people have been questioned.
Okay.
Formally detained, no.
And not held in custody upon their own will?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch. So you guys see all of that was going on with that whole interview. And that's why I watched it multiple times, writing notes like, wait, dang, why didn't I look at this? Wait, okay, I remember when he said this. So I'm trying to put all these things together. And that's why I said earlier I wanted to come on today, but you guys know it's a lot going on. And I wanted to start from the beginning, in which we're going to do tomorrow. But I think I want to do it in sections. So I'll probably do it because it is going to be too long if I do it all together. And I know it's just going to fall apart. Or I don't know. I'll probably do a poll tonight and see if you guys just want me to do it completely straight through from beginning to end. And it could just be one long video. And I can try to, put it into chapters so you can see each thing that goes on, but from beginning to end. What I do want to do now is go into I have my phone right here. I'm like making sure I had it on here. Let me just show you what they were charged with, okay? So we have Trezell here. Trezell, as you can see, the date filed was March 1st, 2022. No bail. He was born in 1986. Young. 30s, okay? 6 kids makes no sense. So 2 murder in the second degree. 2 willful cruelty to child. And false report of an emergency. And I believe that comes from the 911 call, and knowing that there was no reason to do this 911 call. So this is the same thing. You get the booking case, no bail, all of that extra. I did find this a little bit different. This little box down here, it says, if a defendant has more than one hearing scheduled for the same date and time, he or she should appear on the felony case first. Calendars for each court may periodically change as court schedules are modified by court personnel. Persons viewing the court calendar assume full responsibility for appearing at the proper date and time and at the proper court, irrespective of the information contained herein. Okay. So I'm like, why would they even write that on there? Is there something that he's also going to court for at the same time? Or is that why? So this is Jacqueline's right here. So Jacqueline, you can see her name is on there. Jacqueline Gabriel West. I know a lot of people were saying, yo, this girl's a mystery. Like, we don't know anything about her name and stuff like that. And then when, I was able to get the information from the young lady that was in contact with her and Jacqueline's old job and helping people, get the help that they needed, saying that Jacqueline was asking her, hey, can I use you for a reference? Can I? And to me, you don't mix business with your home life. So she gets the same charges, the 2 felonies, the same thing, willful cruelty to a child, false report of an emergency, as well as how Trezell's was as well. But yeah, so with the lady, I've never went fully into it. If my mom wants to come on here one day and speak on everything that she talked to the lady about Jacqueline, I will set that up with my mom. I'm going to talk to her and see if she'll do that and just tell you their conversation. Because if you guys were following me from before, you guys know that on another platform, we were in touch with a customer of a workplace that Jacqueline had, where she was helping them get aid and different things that they needed. And this woman ended up coming up on her family tree. She was asking to use this woman for references into things she was doing and signing up for. And the lady didn't even know her. But still to this day does not have any support, help, anything for her child. So that was leading us to believe that she's using other people's information to do whatever swindling they were doing. So I'm gonna ask moms if she'll come on one day and just tell you guys that whole conversation and what was going on with that whole thing. So if you guys want to see that, I'll do a poll on that. And if I get enough people saying, yeah, they want to hear it, I'll have moms tell you the whole conversation in English rather than in Spanish. So I think, is this Jacqueline's as well? Yeah, that's Trezell's. So let's go to, which one was this? Oh, that's page 6. Hold on, let me move that down. So we're gonna go on to the documents. So if you guys I'm trying to get good on my subscribe. If you guys have not already done it, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like if you guys have not done that already. I'm going to be looking. Because you guys do not hit my like button. But I be having people in here. Hit the like button so other people can get this information and we can possibly do something. I really, really, really do want to put something together to get a law put in Classic and Sincere's name, just like there's an Amber's alert. I want there to be a Classic and Sincere alert. However they want to make it, we need to make this be done, because this should never happen ever again. It makes no sense, and it's just, ugh. So let's go ahead and look at the documents. So obviously this is the first page with everything on it. Jacqueline and Trezell. So it's, the people of the state of California versus Trezell West and Jacqueline West. So let's go to the second page. Right here. Like I said, if I can't see this because I do not have my contacts on or my glasses, y'all, I literally put on some lashes, a little bit of shadow and some lips, and I'm like, I can't really see. So this is page 2. It says, count 1, Penal Code section 187, murder. On our, this is good. When I first read this, y'all, I just started tearing up because I just couldn't believe. I knew in my back of my mind this was going to come to this type of situation, but I didn't want it to. So on or about September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with malice and forethought murder Orrin West, a human being, in violation of Penal Code section 187, second degree murder, a felony. It is further alleged that the above offense is a serious felony with the meaning of Penal Code section 192.7. Circumstances in aggravation. And this is what I was talking to you guys about. I said, everybody's upset. Why not first degree? Why not first degree? I think it's because, and I don't know this for a fact, but they do not have the actual bodies of the children. And with that can tell a lot more. But if they're putting circumstances in aggravation, when there's murders with aggravation, they can boost it up. So I don't know if they're saving that for cards or I don't know. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness with the meaning of California Rules of Court 4.42. Circumstances in aggravation. Like I said, this is going to get repetitive, but I want you guys to listen to everything. It is further that the victim, Orrin West, was particularly vulnerable within the meaning of California Rules of Court 4.42. And I'm going to get these codes for you guys. If you guys want, I'll put that in a poll as well so I can say what these different codes mean. I'm not going to do it if you guys just do not want to hear it. This is for you guys. I want you guys to understand what's happening in this case. Circumstance in aggravation. Now, we have this 3 times now, okay? It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others, guys, I told y'all listen up, others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in the commission within the meanings of Rule Court 4.42. Circumstances of aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offenses with the meaning of California Rules of Court 4.42. So, guys, my understanding in this, and when I've heard this in other cases, the reason why I believe, and this is my belief, okay, has nothing to do with anything else. I believe that their children were added into this BS for help because they used their position of power. They used things, their dominance, all of that to have others help. And I think these children are what led to these second-degree murder charges without a body. I believe Trezell and Jacqueline are very smart. They're using these bodies for leverage, and that's why we haven't heard of it yet. I don't know if it's there and they haven't and not telling us, but I don't think they do, because I think that they would have told us. I think that they're having that just in their pocket to get a lower sentence or whatever in these cases. So let's go on to, let me see, did I just read this one? No, I think this is the next one. Like I said, it gets repetitive, but we're going to go through it. Count 2, Penal Section 187, murder. On or about, wait, did I already do this one? Okay, so this is going to be the exact same thing that we did with Orrin. This is for Orson, but I'm going to read it because you guys need to know. Count 2. On or about September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did with malice a fourth through murder I always get them messed up. Orson West, a human being, in violation of Penal Code Section 187, second-degree murder, a felony. It is further alleged that the above offense is a serious felony with the meaning of Penal Code Section 192.7. Circumstances in aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosed a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness with the meaning of California Rules of the Court 4.42. Guys, sorry. Circumstances in aggravation. It is further that, oh gosh, my words are like going off right now. I'm just like so on edge right now that I'm like trying to get through this, because when I read this, I was in such a state of mine that I was like, yo, I like called my mom. I called a couple people like, look, I am upset about this case. And I know I was like, you get too into them. No, you guys don't understand. These children have no way of defending themselves. These children are put in these situations and can't even speak up. Anyway, it is further that the victim, Orson West, was particularly vulnerable with the meaning of California rules of court 4.42, circumstances and aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership and dominance of other participants in its commission, which within the meaning of California rules of 4.42. Circumstances in aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, that the manner of the crime was carried out. This is the part that I kept saying. Indicates planning, sophistication, or professionalism with the meaning of California rules. So planning, sophistication, and professionalism. And this is why I told you guys to go ahead and listen to what I was saying about, them going to get a place, thinking it out. They have the kids coming there a little bit. That's why it didn't look like children were living there, because they weren't. This was their planned out, way to get away with all of this. Oh, we're going to go here and say that they went missing from here so they don't look over here. And come on, y'all, they're going to do their investigation. That's why they said there's so many of these things. There's so many things that are planned. Is why I don't understand how they didn't get premeditated. The only thing I can think of is this happened out of, anger, and then they planned all these things after. But other than that, I still feel like they should be qualified for first degree. I just feel like they're trying to hold that out. So let's see. This is the next one. I believe if I clicked on it, let me make sure. Okay. Circumstances in aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, took advantage of a position of trust or confidence to commit the offense with the meaning of California's rules of 4.24. This is why I think that they used their children, don't quote me on this, because they used their position of trust and confidence. And before you heard what they were saying, So we're going to continue. Count 3, Penal Code Section 273A. On or about September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did willfully harm or endanger Orrin West. And I may skip the next one depending on how it's written out, but this will go for Orrin West and Orson West, a human being in violation of Penal Code Section 273, a felony. Circumstances and aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of bodily harm, or other acts of causing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, or callousness with the meaning of California rules of court 4.24. Circumstances and aggravation. It is further that the victim, Orrin West, and Orson West, was particularly vulnerable with the meaning of California rules of court 4.21. Circumstances and aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership and dominance of other participants in the commission within the meanings of California rule by the court 4.42. So if this next one, I think this next one just says the same exact thing, but it's with the other child's name. Let me make sure before I just say that. And it's not. Yes. So they go over the same things, and it's just with Orson's name. Okay. So it is further that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced a minor to commit. So these second two that I'm going to read here and here is what I'm going to read, but it goes for Orrin and Orson, okay? Because after that, it's just repeating the same thing for the next child. So it is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, induced a minor to commit or assist in the commission of the crime with the meaning of California's rules of 4.42. This is why, guys, I believe that these monsters added their children or child, whichever it is, and helping them with committing this crime. Read again, minor. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. Like I said, that those last three parts are the same thing I just read to you, but for the other child. So here's the ending, and that's just the ending of the other one for the other child. But so I'm going to go on to 5 because it was exactly the same thing for Orrin as it was for Orson. Just the last part of it is different, which is count 5, Penal Code section 148.3. On or about December 21st, 2020, Trezell West and Jacqueline West did falsely report an emergency in violation of Penal Code section 148.3, a misdemeanor. So all the other stuff with the professionalism and how they did this crime, it was both for Orrin and Orrin West. I didn't want to bore you guys with it. Sure, you guys wouldn't be bored with it, but it's exactly the same thing for one child to the other. And I am going to open up the platform because I'm also going to play 2 more things, which is the press conference. And we're going to wrap it up from there. And tomorrow we're going to go over so much more because we're going to talk about the beginning to the end. And we're going to just analyze it piece by piece. I wanted to put this out first because I don't want you guys to wait for it and be able to see everything that's going on. Now, if more information comes out, I will try to put out a video before I do that or after to keep you guys up to date. But I do want to start from the beginning. For those that weren't there from the beginning, can get all the information they can in one video. So let me go and check on these comments real quick. Let's see. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to queue up the next video. There's one like quick video, and there's the press conference of them finding these, giving you guys what really happened, and then we'll just go straight from there. And we can have conversations about it after. So, you know what? I'm going to leave that for conversations in the next video. Or should I do it with you guys now? Let me go ahead and drop the link. Let's go. Let's see. I don't want y'all to make me start crying because I literally had to prepare for this, y'all. I was upset. So, in the meantime, I'm going to play this small clip. So if you guys do pop into the back, know that we're going to watch this little quick clip real quick, and I will pop you guys up. We'll go over comments and then go straight into the press conference of them being caught and going to jail. All right. As they should have done way before this. I think that they let them get a little bit of freedom, and I guess it's cool, but hey. So we'll start from here. I did hear somebody pop up in the back, so give me a quick couple minutes. And
good morning. Thanks for tuning in to 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. I'm Mike Hart. We begin with breaking news at this hour. The district attorney's office just wrapping up a press conference within the last hour concerning the arrest of the adoptive parents and the disappearance of Orrin and Orson West. Cynthia Zimmer announcing this morning that the 2 little boys are deceased. Zimmer says Orrin and Orson were reported missing to Cal City Police in December of 2020 that set off a massive search effort by multiple agencies and community members. Trezell and Jacqueline West were arrested about 7 o'clock last night near Rosedale Highway and Enos Lane and booked into the downtown jail on 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of child abuse. Zimmer says police worked hundreds of hours over 12 months searching for the boys before they found out what happened.
This morning, I'm saddened to announce that the investigation has revealed that Orrin and Orson West are deceased. The investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing.
Trezell and Jacqueline West are slated to be in court tomorrow morning for their arraignment. Now, we carry the press conference live across all of our social media and live streaming platforms. Right now, 23 ABC's Vanya Bettino joining us live outside the DA's office with more on other elements in this case that came out today. Vanya?
That's right, Mike. Well, that's the biggest development that we have from this district attorney presser, that the boys were dead 3 months before the adoptive parents even reported them missing. And now the question that has been since 2 years ago when this all happened is, where are the boys? And that question still remains because the district attorney says that the bodies have not been found, but they say that they are confident that with the evidence that they have will be sufficient to charge the 2 adoptive parents with the 2 degrees of murder. Now, if they do get those degrees of murder, tomorrow the trial will start and they can face from 30 to life in prison. Now, the family was outside of the press conference here when we walked out, and we were able to speak with the biological aunt, Rosanna Willis, who told us that this is not just closer just yet, but they are still looking for justice and they are still looking for those bodies. Let's listen.
We were preparing ourselves for this because just based off of our own research, and everything we've been doing over these 14 months, we were waiting for this day. It just was a matter of time. Now that we know what's going on, we could finally, get justice for the boys. But the question is now, where are the boys' bodies? We want to be able to bring them home and, give them a proper burial and have closure for the families, because it's been a struggle of trying to keep our emotions together and just, hold our heads high and stay positive and keep our, God first and our prayers and everything. And it's just been a lot. So, that's all we want right now is their return.
What was your reaction to know?
And let me say something, because out of everybody related to these children and unrelated, because I'm talking about Keisha as well, Roro and the Red, I'm saying if I was missing, y'all, if I was missing, I would want to have her on my team. Because from day one, she's been there. And right next to her, Keisha has been there as well. Not even blood related. She's not the Roro. Rosanna. Roro. She's not the mother. She's not the father. She's a cousin that was demanding. She was not going to stop until some answers was made. And y'all, I feel like something needs to be done for her and Keisha and whoever else was nonstop for these boys. Like, we just need to have a celebration of life and all of that. And I wouldn't even mind helping out, planning all of that, and just honoring these boys' beautiful, life. I see my son in them. I don't know if Roro has kids, but the way she was fighting, you would have thought that she carried these children full term, went through the works, and was like, I'm looking for my babies. So I do give it to her. Let's continue.
It was 3 months before it was even
I mean, that right there, like I said, we did a lot of research and our own, did our own, like everything. Like it's a lot. You guys will be amazed of what the ladies behind the scenes did. They knew this. What happened? It didn't happen in Cal City. Put it like that. They knew it. We knew that.
Period.
They
We
never
knew
made
that.
it to Cal City.
Period.
A lot of things happened 3 months before, they were reported missing that we found out. So we're gonna see if that, leads up, if that has something to do with the boys missing.
Obviously, this gives confirmation of the worst case scenario that a lot of us in the community did not want this to end up. That it has ended up today. Do you feel like DA Zimmer sort of gave you guys any new insight, any new information today as far as this case?
I mean, she confirmed it, you know what I mean? But we like I said, we felt this and we knew, like some of the things that came out, we knew it. And it just confirmed our facts. Like it confirmed.
It confirms your biggest fears, because I knew there was either two things that happened. Look, I told you guys before. Someone in the family was promised something, and now that we know that that was not it, that this had to be it. Because if the other people or persons that were involved, and I feel like it'll come out sooner or later, were the reasons why other homicides happen, I think all of it's just going to come out in stats. And everybody's going to be like, whoa, I didn't know this was connected to this. Whoa, I didn't know this person was even connected to this. This thing that Jacqueline and Trezell put together is disgusting. They tried to cover their tracks in so many ways. They tried to get, in my opinion, try to get rid of certain, people and things that were going to get them found out. But look, God works in mysterious ways, and it will come to light. Whatever happens in the dark, like you guys seen, starts to happen at the cover of Dark. They said, oh, let's put our plan in action. Miss Jacqueline, you didn't even, and we will go over this tomorrow, y'all. I think I'm going to just set aside some time. I'm going to crash some stuff out for my classes. Set aside some time to just go from beginning to end so you guys can see how these people put this in to play strategically. So if they do not have actual guidelines to get first degree, I feel like there's so many other things that go on with this case that should build it up to something. And I don't even give a care. A lot of people are like, well, I want to see more charges. I don't want to see more charges. I can get one charge and know that they're going to be in there for life. And I do not believe in the death penalty. But in this case, and the way they were acting, their arrogance, their just the way that they were. I'm sorry. I don't know if I would sign it for anything else, but I'd be like, look, there's my signature. Do away with them. You don't even got to give them the first two medicines you give them to calm them down. Just take them out, because I do not know what happened to these children. But from what these papers are saying, it does not look right, sound right, nothing. So let's finish this up, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the panel.
But like I said, we found out, when you on social media, you see everything. You got these street medias, you got these scanner groups, you have all this stuff. So then you have all the support around the world for the babies. So somebody's always sending us something. And so when I got the picture of the RV, we were on it. So we got out, and everybody came down from Lancaster and Cal City. It was a lot. So we was out there when we showed up to, Potomac, because we thought that's where it was. We seen everybody, the news there. So everybody must have been on the same page. Everybody got the same information at the same time. So that's how we all found out. So, and now we...
Well, she adds that at this point, they just feel numb. And again, they're just looking for the bodies to be found so they can give them a proper burial. They also said that they are so thankful for all the community that came out here and were helping in the searches. We're putting up billboards. We're putting everything on social media. They're very thankful for all that support that they have been getting. But of course, they still want justice. Now, like I said, the trial will begin tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning with the adoptive parents. And we're going to be there and follow those latest developments to bring you all the latest news. You can find that on our later shows. as well as on our website, 2223.com. For now, in downtown Bakersfield, Juania Patino, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
And guys, honestly, I want to be there in the flesh, but I like things that I've dealt with dealing with this case. I don't really feel comfortable, but I do want to. Let me see which bubble am I trying to pull up. Is that it? Nope, this one. I really do want to go out there and like just be there for these boys. When like I said, when I found out everything that was going on, and I literally sat here quietly just to kind of gather everything into one, because look at these babies, y'all. Look at these babies. Why? I want to know why. What made these people feel like, I don't give a hell how rambunctious. They're boys. You guys had all boys all the time, and I wondered about that. There has to be something deeper. But what do you want them to do? Boys crash and bang, and I'm sure when you guys are hearing me doing lives and we're doing chill lives, you guys hear my son, oh, bang, throwing stuff. They're boys. What do you guys, this is not military school for 3 and 4 year olds. I'll digress on this. So we're going to go ahead and go to the press conference so I can like take a little chill pill, because I'm a bit irritated. And I try not to think about certain situations like this as being like, oh, this is your family and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these are our children. These are American children. These are our children as being a part of, our Black community, colored community. I mean, ethnic community. 2 kids go missing. This should have been an uproar, just like, and do not say love Gabby Petito, love that whole case. I don't pick and choose, but I feel like these are babies. They were grown, able to travel across the country. Why wasn't it an uproar like this? So now we're going to go into the press conference, like I said. And then after that, we might shut this down and just go straight to chit chat and talking about everything that's going on. First, I do want to check out with my panel. How are you guys feeling? What do you guys feel about what's going on? Let me know. Jeanette and Miss Veronica.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot. You guys know I've been trying to hold. If you guys see I was acting for Major in that, those situations, I've been trying to hold it. I was like, look, I gotta go put myself together, because I know I was gonna be on here looking rough, because I was hurt. I had to go do retail therapy. That's why I was late, because I was just like, I didn't feel, I was not in the space to be able to do it, because I couldn't hold my tears back. And I think I'm doing good right now. I don't know. I'm teary-eyed, but I'm like, okay, I got this. Go ahead, Jeanette.
I've been up here a lot when we talk about the case, saying charge them with something, some little thing, something, because they've been walking around free all this time. And now I just don't feel like it's enough yet.
It's not enough. It's definitely not enough. I'm to the point where I want to go to the olden days where it's like we publicly, and I want this to be like, this is going to sound so foul. This is going to sound so foul. I know. But you know how the Super Bowl is? This is going to sound so not right, but guys, don't judge me. I want them to find out exactly what happened. And whoever needs to be, and I don't like violence like that, but I'm going to be present to what I'm thinking of in my head. Layla, you know how they did, like when people did stuff like this and they did hangings or something of the sort where they pull the thing under, or even the guillotine. To me, the way they describe how these boys went out, it's horrible. I don't want anything lovely to come out of these two people. Guillotine might traumatize me, but bro, I'm sure if they tell me what they did, and now me knowing, like we talked about earlier, there was a minor involved in this. And not because the minor wanted to be involved. It was because Jacqueline and Trezell pressured this minor or minors to be involved with this crime.
Right.
Trying to make them think if you say anything, it's going to come on you. Putting it on them. Put it on them. If you say, no, that's why I feel like they went straight into protective custody, because one or some of them said, this is what happened. Maybe someone's like, hush, hush. They were able to break and get this story.
Do you remember do you remember a long time ago I told you a story about something that happened up in Springville, which is close to Bakersfield, where these foster parents had the other foster kids hold down one of the foster children and
Oh,
do
yes. Uh-huh.
You remember I brought that up in relation to this case and told you
Crazy.
maybe.
You did. And you kept saying, though, Jeanette, and this is why, I'm not saying this is why I keep you around, but this is why I think me and you have always clicked, because we're like out of the box thinkers. We don't want to think what other people are thinking. We want to have a mind of our own. Yeah, you can give me the information, but okay, you gave it to me. I'm going to go look for myself. I'm not going to depend on what you tell me like you do. And I think that's why we've had this like thing to where we're like, know this, know that. And some people could just say, hey, I know this. And YouTubers will run with it. I need to verify what you're telling me is true, or I can't accept it. And if I can't accept it, I'm not going to tell my people.
Right.
Accept it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you did say that, and like, it's crazy. That's why when I was going through everything about this case, I'm telling you, this was in my ear, like from yesterday in my ear. And I'm like playing stuff as I'm doing stuff, because I got to take care of my family too. But I'm just like listening to stuff, doing, and I'm like, look, this is about to, and you guys, I want you guys to prepare. Because this is a bit of what they're telling you guys right now. There is a lot more coming. And Jeanette, if you're down and can make time, I'm down to, do hotels, whatever, and we go to this trial. I'm down. Like, this is something that, just like Amari, when I was like, I'm getting on that plane, I just, there's certain things that just bother me about these cases and how arrogant they were. Jacqueline, like, now knowing this, I'm like, I just want to, couple seconds. Because when she was talking to, the aunt and the family and whatever on the center, she was like, see this, and she's doing all of this. And 3 months prior, you guys had took these children's lives. I'm done. Like, all bets off. I want, you already know.
I have some worries about the trial too. Did you see the investigator? He's bothering me.
I know. You've been telling me that. And I'm going to do, that's why I told you I'm going to do a live separately with us and doing that. I don't want to I already know this is already going over an hour. I am going to, cut this one short, and we're going to continue. I'm going to give everybody the link to go into the next one, but just so people can get the main information.
I feel like he's jeopardizing the case. I feel like he's
Look,
jeopardizing the case.
Jeanette,
It's
if
bothering
they mess this case up, yo, California's gonna have something on their hands. It's too many people across the world that are invested in this case. Invested. And me not knowing nothing about these children, nothing about Ryan Dean, nothing about the dads, nothing about Roro, nothing about anybody that has anything to do about this case. Trezell, Jack, nothing. But to know that these people, what's making it real like saucy for me is how they acted in that interview. And that's what we're gonna be looking at tomorrow. And y'all gonna have to forgive me because I might get a little turned up. Cause now knowing what we know now and seeing how it was, yo, it just was getting to me when I was watching it. I was just like, I can't deal with it. So what I'm gonna do, go to Miss Veronica, and I'm gonna go to the press conference because that's 20 minutes. So I'm gonna have to put chapters in this so people can skip to what they want to, but I want this ending information to what we have now to be on one video so they can just get it all in there, and then we'll go over the full case.
Right, because
Top to bottom.
he was saying the children were rambunctious. I think this is
My
something.
son's rambunctious. Rambunctious
Well,
is
but
just
I'm
a child
saying,
that's just like,
I think that
no.
I think that they blamed this on those other children from the beginning, and that's why they were
I think that's what they were gonna try to use. But I
Yes.
think since the children are old enough to speak, they could no longer use, oh, we had our kids do that. Because they think they were gonna brainwash the children and say, oh no, you killed him. Oh no, you did this. Oh no, you did that. We're gonna put it on you. The smartest thing, even though nobody likes how they went about it, was getting those kids out of there quickly. Okay? That way these parents can go by and be like, oh, well, if you tell them that it's no. What they're thinking is, oh, they're gonna be. So since they only had that initial conversation with them is, oh, we're gonna tell them you did it, you did it, you did it. But since they were able to get to them quickly before they were able to super brainwash them, eventually I think they were sticking to a story, and then they were like, look, this is what happened. My parents did this, said this, that, and the other. And I think that's exactly why those documents are written out like that. Point blank period. It just all makes sense, you know? So I let's get to this. The conference is 28 minutes. I will be stopping it in the middle. You guys know what we got to do as tubers, but I'm going to try to get you guys as much straight through conversation as I can. And we'll go from there. Let me see if I could. Veronica says she's at a loss right now. Let me see. Let me make sure I just pop in some of these. Guys, if you guys have not done it already, Shay is putting out all the places you guys need to be subscribed to and following for you guys to get $100 from my giveaways, and also just my regular giveaways of giving out gift cards to people. So stop say it again. I'm not monetized. I do things for you guys. I get information for you guys, which I was doing before I was on YouTube. But I do also do extra stuff to help out people in this pandemic and things that are going on. So right now, I just started again. I already sent out, they should be getting their gift cards already. First 5 people in my chat get a ticket into my free raffle. Also, if you come through on game nights, you get tickets for all the questions you get right that go in the raffle. I have my son pick them out, so it's not like I have anything to do with it. My Cash App is NaomiChinaD.com. My Cash App is NaomiChinaD. I'll put it up there in a second. But for every $5, you get 2 tickets for a chance to win $100. The next drawing is going to be on St. Patrick's Day. We're going to be in here in our green, turning up. Last winner was Veronica, who you guys seen in the building not too long ago. And I'm going to go through this list to see the first 7 people that said RIP Orrin Orson, and they're going to get a ticket into my free drawing, period. The first person gets 2 tickets into it. And yeah, so I'll let you guys know when that drawing's going to be done, and I just randomly pick how many people I'm going to do. Sometimes my son does, and I just give out like little small gift cards from like $10 to $25 of just gift cards, you know, whatever you guys tell me to pick or whatever in that. But the $100 I do every couple of months, and you can choose either to say I'm gonna split it in half, pick again, and I'll pick a second person. If I do that, I'll get 5 extra. You get 5 extra tickets. So whoever was the first person to go into the next $100, because I feel like you should have a chance, and you can add whatever you want on top of that. Or you can divide it into 4s and have me pick 3 extra people. And then I'll pick those 3 extra, but I will still give you 15 extra tickets, sometimes 20 extra tickets into the next one, because every $5 gets you 2 tickets into the $100 drawing. So my Cash App's up there. Go ahead and feel free to do it. Every live I say, hey, here's who's in it. This is for you guys. Not monetized, not doing it for the money. Anyway, let's get started on this one right here. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to step away just to make sure a little size in bed. Why isn't it blowing up? There it goes. So this is the press conference, guys. So watch. Uh-oh, they're going to commercial me, I bet you. Bet you they're going to commercial me. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Uh-oh, wait, hold on, let me click on it again. Yep, they commercialed me. Hold on, I'll bring it back to you guys. Yep, they commercialed us. Skip ad. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on, bear with me. I clicked out of it. Oh, there we go. They take a little second to walk up there, but
Naomi.
yes, Jeanette.
Oh, I thought you were playing something, but it didn't play.
No. I have to. It's because they take a while to get into it, so I'm trying to skip it up to where they start talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it back on. Hold on.
Naomi, we can't hear.
You guys can't hear it? Can you hear me?
Now we can. Yeah, I can hear you. We can't hear
Okay.
what you're saying.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Case.
Can you hear it?
However, one of the questions that I'm
Yeah.
sure you would like to know is, have the bodies of Orrin and Orson been found? And the answer to that is no, they have not been found. However, I would like to emphasize that the fact that law enforcement have not found their bodies does not preclude a murder.
Hey, there's no sound again, Naomi.
Okay. I'm confused on where the sound keeps going out. I'm confused on where the sound keeps going out at. Is it at the same spot every time or what?
Then
Can
it
you
go
hear
to
me?
the private chat.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, because I don't understand what you're saying in the private chat either.
John, I'm not trying to chase you away or anything. I'm
Who's
just saying,
John? Am I missing something, y'all? What's going on?
he's in the chat. I'm just
Okay.
saying that your comments are inappropriate for the subject.
So
And
just
it's
get him out of
insensitive
here.
if the family were to pop in here. That's all I'm saying.
Guys, anytime something like that happens, just delete them. You guys don't have to explain yourself. I don't care. Delete them. They're out. I don't even see it yet. I don't know what's going on. But I don't have time to look through what's going on. So to avoid all of that, whoever sees who it is, just go ahead and get them off. We'll talk about it later. Actually, while I'm right here, I'll just do it. And whatever other comments you guys see, you guys can block them as well. So it's not letting me block some of them. So you guys go ahead and block whoever it is. And I'll go over and look at it later because it doesn't matter what they're talking about. This is what is going on right now. And whatever. I don't know why you guys can't hear it. You can't hear it anymore, though. Let me do this again.
No, it wasn't.
That diligence,
Can you hear
that
this?
refusal to give up
Yeah.
is why we're here today. I also want to express my appreciation to our district attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for her leadership.
Is this the same spot where you guys stopped hearing it at or what? Because I want you to hear the whole thing. Were you guys able to hear it from here? Or do I need to go back?
I'm from there.
Okay, cool.
Families here in Kern County, no matter how difficult the case. We also would not be here without the teamwork and support of the district attorney staff. They provided invaluable support to our investigators, a perspective and advice and counsel along the way. Again, we would not be here without that support as well. And the last thing I would say is this is not a resolution in this case. And there will not be a resolution completely in this case until these boys are brought home.
Thank you, Chief Terry. Chief Walker, would you like to address the audience?
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Let me emphasize, first and foremost, this is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy that was reported in my city, that two small boys could be killed by their parents. But I do have to say how proud I am of my department from the second we got the call until we brought in so many resources, and we're very grateful for that. But the second we got the call, we were on scene. We began to work it and look for these kids. And we had so many agencies involved, Kern County Sheriff's, Search and Rescue, CHP came with their helicopter to help us. But the citizens of Cal City came out in numbers to look for these kids. And it began to grow to the outlying communities and eventually across the nation. We were getting people who were interested and they wanted to know where these kids were as well as us. And then eventually Chief Terry and Bakersfield PD came in to help us out, and they've been instrumental to make this happen. So I want to thank all those people again for helping us to try to come to some kind of resolution with this. But again, the bottom line is we have two small boys that we believe are no longer here that are dead, and that's terrible. But again, I want to thank the district attorney, Cindy Zimmer, for being brave and diligent to push this forward and actually bring this case to the surface. So we will push forward. We haven't given up, and we'll continue to give them any kind of help that they would need in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Walker. While the defendants in this case, Trezell and Jacqueline West, are presumed innocent, the securing of a grand jury indictment is a major step in ensuring that there will be justice for Orrin and Orson. This case has tugged at the heartstrings of people in my office and in law enforcement and in this community. It is a horrific tragedy that these precious little boys had to lose their lives. But I want to thank everyone who was involved in this case law enforcement officers. It must have been so difficult for them who searched for Orrin and Orson, the community members that came out and helped search, and then the community members that just continue to care about what happened to them. So if you have any questions, that's the end of my comments. But keep in mind, there are ethical restraints as far as what we can talk about prior to the trial in this case.
Let me try.
Thank you. I think he had his hand up first.
Thank you, District Attorney. How can we confirm that the boys had died 3 months prior to their reported disappearance? Their bodies haven't been found. Can you kind of explain how that works?
Hey,
No,
how do we know?
I cannot, but I can tell you the facts in court will show that we were able to prove that to the grand jury, that the boys have died, that they were murdered. And we did that through a combination of direct and circumstantial evidence. And the grand jury was convinced that they were dead.
Hello?
Given that you say that they died 3 months before,
Yeah, I'm here.
and the fact that Trezell
Put yourself on mute, Michael, please. Thank you.
then moved to California City. Chief Walker, do you believe, can anybody say whether Orrin and Orson were ever in California City to begin with?
Mr. Gaspar, that's a good question, and that's something we're going to answer during the trial.
Can't say more than that.
We cannot go into the facts of the case.
As far as trying a case without a body, because since I assume you don't know where the boys are. Is that right?
We don't know where their bodies are. That's what I said.
Okay. So you don't know where their bodies are. What will that present kind of a difficulty in trying this case without a body? Public out there, has at least some that I've run into, say, well, they can't try somebody without a body. How are you going to do that?
As I explained in my earlier statements, no body homicides are tried all the time. And we have evidence that was sufficient to convince the grand jury, and we have sufficient evidence that we believe will convince a jury that they are not alive. And we have evidence.
Have you tried a case? Without a body before it could?
Yes, we have tried to successfully, at least that I know off the top of my head. I have those names, the Leonard Bryce Thomas case and the Daniel Rhodes case, successful murder convictions. And there may be more, but those are two that I can remember. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about why second-degree murder in this case rather than first?
No, I cannot. I can't really discuss the theory of liability in the case because that would involve the facts.
So see, guys, how I was telling you, like, there's certain things that you have to have, especially in a no-body circumstantial case, to put it into first-degree murder. Everybody's upset about that. Yes, possibly down the line, it could happen if they find the bodies. But what I think, since they were already saying Trezell and Jacqueline did this sophisticatedly, professionally, like this was like a professional type thing, they are obligated to prove that it would be first degree. Although they feel like it could be first degree, they can't just say, I feel like it's first degree and that's what we got to do. I think that Jacqueline and Trezell, and I think he coached her, or vice versa, to say, hey, we got to at least leave this out to benefit us, the bodies. The bodies might get us a little more leniency. But, I don't know. Let's go ahead.
And then also, I'm so sorry, one more question. Can you talk a little bit about why you guys decided to go down the grand jury route and attain that rather than the average procedure?
We try I've done over 20 grand jury indictments myself throughout my career. It is something that we commonly do on homicide cases, which involve calling live witnesses. And also sometimes we do it because there has to be a little bit of starting and stopping regarding scheduling. A preliminary hearing is continuous. You don't have start and stops. And at a grand jury hearing, you can do 2 days of testimony.
That makes more sense.
So there are a variety of
So I didn't
reasons that we
understand.
considered in this case. And a lot of, if you look back on some of our high profile homicide cases, most of them did go to grand jury. Yes.
So
I think high profile should go to grand jury, period.
Naomi.
Yes.
What if they give them a plea deal, though, to
That's
prevent
what I'm telling
the
you.
children
Listen.
from having to testify?
This is what I'm telling you. And I feel like this is what, and the reason why, when we go back to the document, let me see if I can go ahead and click on it. So that way you think I'm not just saying stuff out of the crack of my buttons. This is why I think, hold on, let me find the correct one before I say something. Okay, no, it's not this one. Hold on, let me go back. There's one in particular, and I was like, ooh, they think they're cute right now. Like, no, I'm not impressed. You're disgusting. Okay, here we go. So this is what I was talking about. So do you see where it says circumstance and aggravation? It's 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Wait, is it 4? No, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one down, the last one. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, that the crime was carried out indicates planning. Number 1, planning, sophistication, or professionalism with the meaning of California rule of the court 4.42. That's why I said I'll go over these with you guys if you guys really want me to and let you know what I'm talking about. But they frickin' were trying to make this be a professional hit towards these children.
Are they seeking the death penalty?
No, you cannot. No, listen, Janae.
You can't for that charge, right? Or you can't.
Yeah, well, hold on.
You
But
can if it's aggravated, though, right? Certain circumstances.
Aggravated, yes. Aggravated, planned, stuff like that. But my thing is, why are they doing, well, not why. I know why they're doing second degree, because they're playing their cards right. Because if they full on go for first degree, let me let you guys know this. I'm not saying I'm a lawyer. I'm not saying I'm any of that, but I did go to school for criminal justice. And that doesn't mean I know anything that I'm talking about. So just count everything I'm saying out, but just listen to me. So the reason why I think that this is very smart for them to go ahead and go with second degree, because when it comes to things like this, you can go up, but you can't come down. So if they were to automatically go for first degree, they can't come down to something else. So they're starting with second, building, doing what they cannot do, whatever the case may be, and seeing where they get from that. But I think,
well, double jeopardy.
I don't want to say something and then give them an idea of what I think they're thinking and hoping that they will do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm nobody. So anyway, so we're going to talk about it. So anyway, I think that they're thinking this way, and that hopefully either her or him will be like, look, let me tell you this. I'll tell you where the bodies are as long as you don't give me the death penalty. Then when she shows the bodies, or he shows the bodies where they are, they can see all the trauma the bodies were, dealing with. Hopefully, if it's not in a place to where it's just bones, but sometimes you can still get a lot of information from that, and say, hey, this was like intentionally done. This wasn't a oops, I flipped out. No, this was intentionally done. And that they can give one a little bit more leniency, but still be able to find the bodies. I think that's the reason why, look, how Trezell's brother was acting, they're not curious to, how these things work out here. No, they know what's going on. So I think they're trying to leave that body part out of it to give them some leverage. Because if not, and they found the bodies, they would have been like, frick, we're effed. But since they know they have that and they know they want bodies, everybody, we all want bodies. So since they don't have that, they're like, okay, well, let's leave this for our leverage. You know what I mean? Or am I making sense to you? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're making
So,
sense.
Tisha, like, there's somebody in the comments saying that they sold them. The thing is,
no, I don't think that is, because from the beginning information that I was told, it had nothing to do with selling. So
now I'm just going to say, there's no evidence that these boys were sold. There's a detective running around saying that maybe they're still out there, and theories like that only go to help.
Real quick, hey, Infamous, pull up. Come on in here, because we need to talk. We all got to talk about this situation. So, Infamous, come up here. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. That way, anybody, look, you do not have to be a content creator or anything like that. This is a platform that I hold down and make sure that everybody has a fair chance in being able to speak. Even if I don't agree with it, I allow you to speak. That's where we're about over here. We can agree to disagree. So go ahead, bounce over. I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick.
I feel like them kids are diseased. Now that's my feeling.
No. I always felt that way because of the circumstances and the little things that we were being told. You know what I'm saying? When they were like, oh no, we seen them in a shopping cart. We seen them there. No, we seen them in the car. No. I knew it was something that John said. I'm trying to think of it. There was a point where, I don't know if it was a toothbrush brought along. Something made me say, they know those kids are not there, because they had to do with like a direct DNA type of thing. But yeah, so I don't know how to say her first name, but we're going down. In their mind, they're going. I'm telling you, girl. So there goes the link right here. So go, Fred. Feel free to pop up. If you guys want to go to these sites, you guys know where you guys can go. KGTD TV. But let's just continue, because this is absurd. And I feel like, we need to get to the bottom of this. So here we go. Infamous, do not click out. I'm going to continue my video, but just watch. All right, here we go, guys.
43 and Highway 58. And some were saying this was possibly where Trezell and Jacqueline were taken into custody. Are you able to confirm that? And also,
sounds really low, but let me put the captions on if I can.
after they moved back to California City, there was a helicopter with a search flight going over around, I want to say, 7, 8 o'clock last night. Can you confirm that that was looking for Trezell and Jacqueline?
The defendants, Trezell and Jacqueline West, were taken into custody last night around 7 p.m. by the Bakersfield Police Department in western Kern County.
How did that happen? How did you find out that the Winnebago that was there? We had spotted it earlier in the day in Edison, and then it was the same Winnebago that you guys found yesterday. How can you say what tipped you off that the Winnebago was there?
Oh no, what happened?
At Enos Lane and how
Why is he doing that?
No. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What does it say about you guys' background process for adopting parents here in Kern County?
Ma'am, it's not the job of the district attorney to talk about those types of things. It's the job of the district attorney to look and see if a crime was committed and bring those guilty parties to justice. Yes.
Are the defendants cooperating, and have they admitted to any wrongdoing?
I can't discuss, that is absolutely prohibited, any type of statements by the ethical canons that attorneys are required to follow. I won't comment on the evidence specifically. I won't comment on statements. Yes.
Are these the only arrests that are going to be taking place in this case? Is there plans to bring in anybody else or to arrest anybody else involved in this?
If I had those plans, I probably wouldn't tell you, but I can't tell you anyway. It's a good question. I don't mean to be trite, but I'm not going to comment on that. Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We do know that Orson and Orrin were 2 of 4 adopted kids. They also had another 2 biological kids. Any idea of the whereabouts of the other 2 adopted kids and the biological kids as well? And were there any signs or prior signs of prior abuse in the household with the other 4 kids?
I'm not able to discuss that, but it's not like the other 4 are missing. They are in the care and custody of the Child Protective Services. Yes.
Now here's what I'm saying, guys. She says they are in the custody of Child Protective Services. So doesn't that make the same sense of being, what is it called? PC, protective custody, and all that type of stuff. They're not at all saying, what is it called? DCFS. What's the other one? Defense. What, all those DCFS and all the children, whatever they're looking for.
It's Child Protective Services here. That's how we refer to it.
Okay, Child Protective Services, and other places say it so different. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? So everybody.
It used to be across the board CPS or CPS is what it used to be, because that's what I say. I used to be a CPS kid. But they changed it because there was so much corruption and there was so much stuff going on. Like they had to, a lot of the places like here in my city, the governor had to revamp the whole system because there were so many people, like caseworkers that weren't checking in on kids, the hotline calls, they were just doing drive-bys, and there was just a lot of stuff that was going awry and kids that were dying in the system. So basically they renamed it, they rebranded, I guess you could say, in layman's terms.
Whoa, I don't like that.
Made it sound more family oriented, I guess.
Right. And infinite. I think my disdain for the West, I don't want to get distracted from.
Me neither.
What this
so,
is.
hey, real quick, guys. Let's
just
finish this out, and then we're gonna go straight into like commentary. I'm actually gonna give you guys the link into the next live in a second through here, so we can all go to that, because I don't want this to all be mixed in. But let's finish this out, okay?
Okay.
Love you guys. You guys know I love y'all. I just want to have people, be able to get everything in one place. I don't know what they're saying, but
answer that. I mean, I know, but I shouldn't be answering that. Yes.
Have you spoken to the
Can't hear.
Can't hear it.
An arrest is made.
can you hear it now?
Yes, there it goes.
Why does it do that? I'm confused. Hold on. I want to take you guys back because that makes no sense. I don't know why it goes in and out. And it bothers me. Hold on. Let's take it back a little bit.
That is absolutely prohibited. Any cases which involve calling live witnesses, and also sometimes we do it because there has to be a little bit of starting and stopping regarding scheduling. A preliminary hearing is continuous. You don't have start and stops, and at a grand jury hearing, you can do 2 days of testimony 1 week, 1 day, so there are a variety of reasons that we considered in this case. And a lot of, if you look back on some of our high profile homicide cases, most of them did go to grand jury. Yes.
We have unconfirmed reports that a white RV was pulled over by law enforcement yesterday at Highway 43 and Highway 58, and some were saying this was possibly where Trezell and Jacqueline were taken into custody. Are you able to confirm that? And also, near Potomac Avenue, the neighborhood where Trezell and Jacqueline have been living with his parents after they moved back to Oklahoma City, the helicopter with a searchlight going over around, I want to say 7, 8 o'clock last night. Can you confirm that that was looking for Trezell and Jacqueline?
The descendants, Trezell and Jacqueline West, were taken into custody last night around 7 p.m. by the Bakersfield Police Department in western Kern County.
How did that happen? How did you find out that the Winnebago that was there? We had spotted it earlier in the day in Edison, and then it was the same Winnebago that you guys found yesterday. How can you say what tipped you off that the Winnebago was there at Enos Lane and Highway 58?
No. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What's this about, like, providing a background process for adopting parents in Kern County?
Ma'am, it's not the job of the district attorney to talk about those types of things. It's the job of the district attorney to look and see if a crime was committed and bring those guilty parties to justice. Yes.
Are the defendants cooperating, and have they admitted to any wrongdoing?
I can't discuss. That is absolutely prohibited. Any type of statements by the ethical canons that attorneys are required to follow. I won't comment on the evidence specifically. I won't comment on statements. Yes.
Are these the only arrests that are going to be taking place in this case? Is there plans to bring in anybody else or to arrest anybody else involved in this?
If I had those plans, I probably wouldn't tell you, but I can't tell you anyway. It's a good question. I don't mean to be trite, but
Hey,
I'm not going to comment on that.
I really like her. She's so funny. She's like, look, I want to tell you, but I wouldn't even tell you. She's cute.
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We do know that Orson and Orrin were 2 of 4 adopted kids. They also had another 2 biological kids. Any idea of the whereabouts of the other 2 adopted kids and the biological kids as well? And were there any signs or prior signs of prior abuse in the household with the other 4 kids?
I'm not able to discuss that, but it's not like the other 4 are missing. They are in the care and custody of the Child Protective Services. Yes.
Were Trezell and Jacqueline West under surveillance for a considerable amount of time before you made it?
I cannot answer that. I mean, I know, but I shouldn't be answering that.
I know, but I can't answer it.
Have you spoken to the biological parents of Orrin and Orson since you learned of this news? And if so, what was their reaction to this?
Can I say something real quick?
I can't hear it anymore. Can you press it?
Yeah, I can't hear it either. I want to say
Why does
something
it
real
keep
quick.
doing that? That's so crazy to me. Hold on. I'm going to back it up again a little bit. Why does it keep doing that? Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah, I
me?
can hear you.
When
Yeah,
you
we can
speak,
hear
we
you.
can always hear you, but for some reason it mutes out or
But so
something.
you didn't hear any of none of that?
Nuh-uh.
None of the whole thing?
None of it. I mean, I
I
heard it
heard
before, but
I heard a
yeah.
little bit of it. I heard a little bit of it, not too much of it.
Oh my gosh, so I don't even know where to start. That's crazy. Why is it doing this?
Where you started is where she goes, I don't mean to be trite, but, and you said she's cute, and then
Okay,
it
so let's see.
faded out.
Let's see.
You can do 2 days of testimony 1 week.
Did you hear this
So
part?
there are a variety of reasons that we considered in this case, and if you look
Yes,
back
we
on
can hear
all
that.
of our
No, I'm saying, where did you guys stop? I don't understand why I keep stopping it.
It stopped when you said she sounds cute, and after that, you couldn't hear no more.
Like it's fading out right now.
Why? Hold on. Do I need to keep my mouse moving?
You're stuck.
No, for real, because it's like I'm not touching it, and then you guys are saying it's fading out. This is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, you can
Are
hear
your
it going.
settings on your StreamYard set up right with your microphone on your desktop?
I mean, it's all
Because you have an
connected.
internal mic and you have the external mic too. So
Right,
like
but
the
there's no
external.
reason. Hold on, let me see.
The defendants, Trezell and Jacqueline
Audio.
West, were taken into custody last night around 7 p.m. by the Bakersfield Police
I can hear it
Department.
now.
Hear it.
How did that happen? How did you find out that the Winnebago that was there? We had spotted it earlier in the day.
It's just low. That's what it is.
But this is already. I have it as.
It might be their audio too. It might be the way they recorded the press
I keep
conference.
lifting it up, and I can't make it any higher. Yeah, because mine's at 100. I've set my setting at 100.
Ma'am, it's not the job of the district attorney to talk about those types of things. It's the job of the district attorney to look and see if a crime was committed and bring those guilty parties to justice. Yes.
Are the defendants cooperating, and have they admitted?
That is absolutely prohibited. Any type of statements by the ethical canons that attorneys are required to follow. I won't comment on the evidence specifically. I won't comment on statements. Yes.
Are these the only arrests that are bringing in anybody else, or to arrest anybody else involved in this?
If I had those plans, I probably wouldn't tell you, but I can't tell you anyway.
Okay, so this is the part where I started
I
laughing.
don't mean to be trite, but I'm not going to comment on that. Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We do know that Orson and Orrin were
Fading out again.
Why? You can't hear it?
It's
It's
really
like
low.
going lower and lower.
Oh my God. I wonder what changes that. Let me see.
I'm not able to discuss
Hear it
that,
better?
but it's not like the other four.
It's low. But I can hear it though.
Top
It's low.
Yeah, it's
I
low.
have it
but
on
you
at
can
full
hear it.
volume on both ends.
You should contact StreamYard and just, later on or whatever, and just send a, like a message to
You know
them,
where
and
it
they
goes?
contact you right away.
Well, I'll play this tomorrow, and I'm also going to be pulling it off of, I can actually edit it and bring their voices up. So this is just kind of let you guys know what's really going to go on, because I was about to put everything on blast today, but I just didn't have enough time. And like I told you guys, I'm in school. I'm doing my psychology. I'm doing my things to understand people that are in these situations and to see what leads you to those. Because I'd be like, I feel like I'm crazy and I have crazy thoughts, but I never do what they did. You know what I'm saying? Or go to those lanes. So don't worry about any of that. We're going to just have a conversation about it. I'm actually going to drop the link from the video that we are going to start having the conversation with, because I know a lot of people don't like to deal with chit chat, and we're going to just chit chat. And so I'm going to put this in our, because I put a little bit of this out, but tomorrow it's going to start from early, guys. So I want you guys to be ready. I am literally going to start from beginning to the end. Not every single video ever out in America, no. But from them saying the kids are missing to each interview to where we are now is what I'm going to start doing tomorrow. And I think I'm going to start at noon my time. If not noon my time, like 2 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. So guys, be ready for that, because we're going to go in, and I want you guys to be in here and talk about how you feel. Even if you got to be like, hey, I'm at work, but
That's around 12
I don't
by
care.
nighttime.
So we're going to talk about that. You know what I mean?
So that's around 12 o'clock in the morning about my time. Okay, I'm going to be ready.
No, not my time.
No,
I
my
said
time.
Pacific Standard Time.
If you go on 2, I got to be on 12.
If I go on at 2 my time, wouldn't you already be 2, 3, 4? Wouldn't it be 6 o'clock your time?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going backwards for a minute.
Yeah, that'll make sense to me. So if I go on at 2, it'll be 6 o'clock East Coast time. So that's what I'm saying. I'll do that.
I'll be ready.
Play part of it, and I'll do the second video. But I want to start from the beginning so people get the understanding of where we came from to where we are now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a good idea.
That to me makes more sense. So here you guys go. Everybody on this platform, I'll put it in the private chat. Here it is. Paste. Click on that. We're going to go into that live right now because I'm going to end this one so it can be completely chit chat. Because I've been seeing what a lot of people like, and they don't like when we mix them together. So already go ahead and jump on that one too. I'm going to already pop you up on there. And everybody already in the comments, if you guys want to pop up, this is more of a chill thing. I didn't get to eat dinner, so I'm going to be eating dinner while I'm talking to you. And we're all talking about this, and we're talking about everything. So go ahead and and click on this. And I heard some people already popping up. Stay over there. Click on that, and I already go over there. I love you, Lady Fresh. Hey, you've been since day one. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 people that did exactly what they were supposed to do with the rest in peace. But we're going to log this one out. We're going to hop over to Chit Chat because that's where I can unwind, take my bra off, throw it, and get down to the nitty gritty of all this crime. So here we go, y'all. Bye-bye. I already go ahead and click on the other one. All right, y'all. Love you guys. See you later.